No, you don't. Oh, my Lord Jesus.
No more games.
I died on the tutorial again. I'm about a month late. I finished Spider-Man like 6 days after it came out. We are late as shit. I was supposed to have y'all the review out, I believe, on the 14th. But it's all right, though. So let's talk about Spider-Man. This is our first official review on the channel. We got like 3,000 videos on here. We've never done an official review. I don't know how this is going to go, but let's hop right into it. Some real quick information about the story, spoiler free. I know that's important to a lot of y'all because some of y'all won't be getting this game until Christmas. So you've been Spider-Man for, let's say, 8 years, and Mary Jane, she still got you deep in the friend zone, bruh. And you ain't never getting out. Mary Jane also is a reporter for the Daily Bugle, and she does some really ill-advised stuff to get some of her news stories. There's some other very familiar faces along the way. Of course, Peter's very good at science and engineering, so he has a job as an employee for one of the main characters of the story. Aunt May's working at a homeless shelter. Uncle Ben is gone, and Jameson is still an asshole.
Just yesterday, I saw him doing backflips and 360s. Disgraceful. Running and crawling on buildings.
Now, as far as the graphics go, do I need to have a whole 5-minute segment about the graphics? You can see the graphics. The graphics are amazing. Not the best graphics on PS4, because there's only maybe 5 games that would fit into that. But outside of that, this is one of the best looking games on PS4, period. Now, if you want me to get into more of the particulars, you are locked. Let me say that again. You locked at 30 frames per second. Doesn't matter if that's on the vanilla PS4, the PS4 Slim, or the PS4 Pro. It is locked at 30 frames per second, which is unfortunate for some people. Now, the game was not on all platforms. I kind of thought it was going to be on all platforms, but it's not, because I would have loved to see this game on Xbox One X, PC, just something with better hardware than the PS4, but you can't. Hey, look, it's 30 frames. But they clean, though.
The angry drug lord drank alone. There's a poem in there somewhere.
You know better than me. Never was the literary type.
One of the most important parts of the review is to talk about the gameplay segment. And I will tell you this. The entire time you're playing this, you're going to feel like Spider-Man. From the web swinging to the melee combat system, even down to, you know, Peter's like corny jokes and one-liners that he likes to plug in there. They nailed all 3 of those. And they also managed to put some add-ons into the game that I didn't think would work, but they did a fantastic job. So let's talk about the fighting mechanics first. The combat on the game is simply marvelous. I'll stop. Y'all see what I did? Yo, first of all, you don't have unlimited web shooters. I love what they did with the web shooters on this game. You get your little meter in the upper right hand corner. As you shoot your webs, that meter starts to deplete. If you let it deplete completely, there's a short recharge period. So it does add a little bit of challenge to the fight and your approach to how you're going to put together all your combos and stuff like that. One of the things I really love about the web shooters is if you knock an enemy down, you can shoot a couple times. He'll get stuck to the ground if they're near light fixtures, poles, if they're near walls or ceilings or anything like that, and you shoot your web shooters a few times, they will get stuck to those objects, and that'll effectively take them out the fight, and then you could just move on to the next enemies you're fighting. Those web shooters also do add to your combo meter, and once that combo meter fills up, you can go ahead and do your finishing attack. Now, quick side note. This game does not have auto health regeneration. That combo meter that I'm talking about that you use to do your finishing attacks, you can sacrifice some of that meter to replenish your health manually. So that does add some level of difficulty that you have to do in order to keep your health up. Otherwise, if you're not landing your attacks and dodging, you're not going to be able to get your health back. They've also seamlessly added the ability to pick up objects and throw them at people. Objects that are all around you. We talking about boxes. You can pick up a whole person, throw his ass against the wall, throw him on the ground, and then swing him around in a circle and do damage to everybody in the radius. It's beautiful. Throw him. So unnecessary. There's also a whole bunch of different gadgets that you can use while you're either in stealth mode or in combat mode. You have trip mines, you have a spider drone that follows you around and helps shoot at enemies. You have a concussive blast web. You have impact webs that automatically stick people to surfaces around you. You got a whole lot of options for how you're going to get through a lot of these waves of enemies. We're not going to speed past the fact that the game has over 20 suits. A lot of them are completely unique. Some of these suits don't even look like suits that you would expect to see in a Spider-Man game. And then they have your more conventional suits. On top of all of that, each suit has a unique special ability outside of the finishers that I mentioned earlier that you can trigger once the cooldown period is up. Once you unlock that suit, that ability can be used for any other suit. So those abilities are not tied to the suit once you've unlocked them. So that allows you to wear whatever you want, and then whatever special move you like from the suit, you can put that on. Some of these moves are super dope. On top of all the suits, all the gadgets, you have suit mods. These give you little bonuses and perks for your suit. You can equip up to, I believe, 3 of these. Y'all can, feel free to correct me if I'm wrong, but I think you can put 3 of those on. And one of the things that one of the mods might do is something like this. Some of the side quests or challenges that you might have to do may require you to get a 70 hit combo. Now, sounds easy, but once you get to some of the later enemies, they do get annoying because they have these little electric shock abilities that will stop your entire combo, and you're going to have to do that whole challenge again. I believe one of the mods allow you to take a punch or two, and it'll keep your combo going. That way you can go ahead and get that 3 stars so you get more tokens towards your upgrades. I ain't know what you got. Oh, he got an AR. God damn it, James! The web swing on the game is super dope, super fun, and it is fluid, which is very, very important. I found myself sometimes just web swinging everywhere, even though later on in the game they unlock fast travel. I had more fun web swinging everywhere, so I ended up not using the fast travel as much as I usually do in some of the other games. One of the things that I wish I would have knew about just a little bit earlier in my playthrough is the point launch mechanic. That allows you to basically web zip to places, but it gives you more precision when you're moving around. So what you do is you aim your little crosshair at a pole or the edge of a building or something like that. You zip to it and then you hit X. As you do that, you will relaunch it to the air, and you can do that over and over and over. There are some missions later in the game that you need to beat a time, and you need to get directly to certain buildings to do it. So if you don't want to overshoot your buildings and mess your times up, you're going to need to master the point launch mechanic, which is super duper easy to use. The only thing I will say about the movement is sometimes you will feel a little bit restricted, but that's only during some of the boss battles, specifically when you are inside of a building. You will notice a difference there.
Oh, for me? You shouldn't have.
Oh! Now, we've just talked about all the different combat stuff. So, you use all that stuff that you have on the game to get 100, 200 hit combos. Just beasting. There's also the stealth section of the game. So, let's talk a little bit about that. Batman has always done an amazing job at giving you stealth, but also giving you enough action in the combat section of the games. And I believe Spider-Man has also just nailed it as well. There are sections where you control players that are not Spider-Man, and they are primarily, actually, they are all stealth sections. Now, when you are doing the stealth sections and you are using Spider-Man, it's pretty straightforward. They did a good job. I did mention earlier that you have your trip mines. You can also hang upside down from lamppost ceilings and other stuff like that, and do perch takedowns where you web shoot and then you hang them up over stuff. It's a very similar to the gargoyle mechanic that you have on the Batman games. So they did a great job with that. It's not all just go in and fight waves of enemies. You can do that as well, but some of these sections where you're not using Spider-Man require you to get through without being seen, or you will fail some of those sections. Personally, I enjoyed those, but I do know that there are people who did not care for those sections. But I will tell you, one of my favorite chapters of the game, you use Mary Jane to sneak through an area, but you have her queue over to Spider-Man to come in and swoop down and do different perch takedowns for you. Get him too.
Take him.
Hey, yo, this part is dope, bruh. This is also one of the few games where I don't mind doing the side quests, and it does not feel like a chore to do them. You have your challenges, you have like your enemy outposts, you have research stations, and you have collectibles. Now, a lot of people will try to skip those, but I'm going to tell you that if you want to get the upgrades, if you want to get new suits, if you want to get new upgrades for your gadgets to make those better, you do have to do those. They are fairly simple, except when you start to get to some of the combat challenges. Those can get a little bit tricky because you're under a timer, and you also have to get a certain score to get 3 tokens instead of 1. However, you don't need to do all of those and get 3 tokens or 3 stars or the highest score to get the 100% trophy if that's what you're into. I'm not really into those, but a lot of people are. You don't have to get all 3 of those tokens or the goal score for that in order to get the 100%. But you know what? There's one kind of side quest that I didn't like very much. Now the rest of them was dope. The research stations were my least favorite of all the side quests. When you get there on the game, you'll know exactly what I'm talking about. That's all I'm gonna tell you. This game does have some good boss battles. Once you get to a certain part of the game, you will start to fight, more than one boss at a time. Now, I will say that some of these fights were easier than I was expecting, especially when you get like closer to the end of the game. And keep in mind that I'm playing on the spectacular difficulty. And I'm not saying I didn't die. I died a few times, but the spectacular difficulty is not as hard as somebody might think it is. At the time of me playing the game, they did not have the new Game Plus mode out. I don't know if it's out now, but I will tell you that if you're a person who likes a challenge, don't play on normal. You may want to put it on spectacular difficulty. And the boss battles are dope. And I really love when basically you get ran down on by a whole team of them dudes at one time.
Please don't screw this up.
That shit was hot! The most important thing for me when I'm talking about any of these games is fun factor. And I may say that every single time I do a review. That is number one. There's games that I've played, that you've played, that technically they weren't really great games. Some of them might have just been okay, but they were super fun. And that's what matters above anything. And this game is one of those games that is great. It's a great game, but it's also super fun. Now, what do I really like about the game? What I really like about the game is not necessarily the actual game itself. I'm more excited for what we may get down the road with other superhero games. Because outside of Batman, we've not had any big budget AAA superhero games. We get a lot of movie tie-in games. There's been like a Thor. There was an Iron Man game. Some of y'all probably don't even know about some of these games. There was a couple amazing Spider-Man games, which we played on this channel. We played Web of Shadows. There was all these games, but at the end of the day, there was not the energy and the effort that went into those games that went into this Spider-Man and then the Batman game. So I'm more excited to see, other games that may come down the road because of the success of this game and Batman. So, the studios, the companies that own these IPs may say, hey, you know what? Let's put a Superman game out, or let's put an Avengers or an X-Men. The possibilities are kind of endless. So, now that we see what these companies can do, I do think that this is going to open up the door later on down the road. So that was my takeaway from this game. Also, look at Insomniac Games. They've put out so many different kinds of games. It's like, there's nothing that you can give them that they can't do. What did I not like about this game? The only thing that I can say that I really didn't like is not really something that's bad. It was just more of a thing that I would like to see changed if and when there's a sequel. What is it? I talked about all the combat and all the gadgets. One of the things that I wish that they would have done was made an ability to either allow you to quick fire gadgets or at least bind keys to some of your gadgets or shortcuts so that you can quick fire them. Because the way the fighting is, it is super fast. What you will find yourself doing is a lot of times you will have to kind of take yourself out of the immersion of the combat to open up your gadget wheel to use those in the middle of the fight. That is not something that I would particularly like to do. And I do know I've mentioned Batman a lot, but it's just how it is, because that game has been the only game that has been kind of the standard for the superhero games. So on there, you can quick fire like your electric gel, or you can quick fire batarangs and stuff like that. On Spider-Man, you can't really quick fire your gadgets, and you kind of have to take yourself out of the combat for a fraction of a second to switch and make sure the wheel's on the right thing. And I wish there was a way for you to just hold a button and then push another button and then like throw out your impact web or something like that. I also noticed I don't think there's any double takedowns on the game, which would have also been helpful. But outside of those two little minor things, I'm pretty satisfied with the rest of the game. Also, you know, it's a good length. I feel like you get your money's worth. Some people don't have 70 hours to spend playing the game. So this is a game that fits more for those people who want to play a game that's a good amount of time. Not too short, not too long. Some people like to play the games that are super long. Some people don't. So this will fit right in between. I think this will actually be for both groups of people, because not everybody has a lot of time to sit back and spend playing the game for 6 months. So my final thoughts, because I will never, ever, ever give you all a score. People get salty. They think this score was too high. This score is too low. They get mad if you don't like what they like or you like what they don't like. We're not getting into all of that. But I will tell you, this game is well worth the price of admission. If you cannot buy the game, you should also consider renting the game, borrowing it from a friend. Also, as a reminder, those who have Amazon Prime, if you buy physical games from their new, they're $48. You get a 20% discount, and it's been like that for like 3 years. A lot of people don't even take advantage of that. So you might want to do that. Also, y'all should consider game sharing with your friends and do what me and my homies used to do. I buy a game, you buy a game, and then we beat them and switch. Either way, you got to play this game, man. It's a good-ass game. So let me know if you want to see more reviews for other games in the future, because I could just start doing this every time we do a game. But that is it for today, bro. I know I'm late. I'm sorry. Maybe I won't be this late next time. We'll see. Thumbs up. Subscribe. One time for the hoes. Bye.